Right, this is going to put one on this end, because obviously it makes it harder for them to move it then. It makes it harder for me to lift it up later as well. There we go. I fitted this lovely wooden gate only about 2 months ago, maybe less than that, and look what they've done. Oh, well, you just watched me wasting my time there yesterday, because guess what, I had a visit from the lovely Poacher people again last night. So we'll have a look when we get along there, but basically I blocked off the obvious entrance, didn't bother with the other ones on the side of the road, because I thought, you know what, I've done enough, maybe they'll just move on, because that was the gateway that they regularly came in. Anyway, didn't do any good, did it? They came in, they smashed the gate last night. I got out there at 5:45 in the morning to get the cows in, and found a gate wide open on the side of the road. Luckily, because they'd driven in and driven through the electric fence, the cattle had gone off onto the grazing they could get to because of the fence being down, and they hadn't seen the gate, so I didn't get the cows out on the road. But Christ, well, we'll have a look when we get along. I'm going to put some implements in front of the rest of the gates now. Oh, happy days. Right, let's get going. Right, so I just come out here. I didn't film it, but I just moved the chain arrows. I put them on the fork and just lift them up and move those out of the way, because I realised the old ring roller, crikey, when was the last time I used this? Look at that. That one, that's the old flat one. I use that quite a lot, but the ring one, oh, look at it, it's in there somewhere. It won't do it any harm actually if I do pull that out. I'm gonna have to get a load of fork and just lift it. Where's the pin? Right, let me just lift that out and then we'll take that along one at a time. Oh. So to be honest, it won't do any harm if I actually move this ring roller, because it's being lost to nature otherwise. But you know, I got loads of other jobs to do. I'm doing this before I go off to Ireland. As you know, I'm going to Ireland. You'll be watching this while I'm away. I'm trying to catch up with all the jobs, because my brother will be here on his own. He'll have a lot to deal with, and you don't need the added stress of adding to the workload. I've got a load of straw coming in this afternoon. I don't think I'll be videoing that. I've got enough to deal with. I just want to get on now. Do you know what I mean? It shook me up this morning when I got that, because it's not a personal attack, it's just it feels a little bit like it. These blokes, they don't know who I am. I don't expect they watch The Funky Farmer. They're just interested, and also I know they're not just targeting me. Sorry, I'm just looking, that's why I'm at a funny angle, I'm looking at the loader here. They're targeting other farms around here, so it's not like they've come to me because they think, oh, it's funny to wind up The Funky Farmer. They're actually targeting anywhere they can get in with hares. Right, look, I just got the front loader on. Ooh, I want to knacker my loader up now. Oh, this is the problem, it's been in the ground so long, I don't know how easy I'll be able to get it out. Right, let me just put it up. I might just put it on blocks and then I'll just try and pull it out. If I get it on the hitch, I might just pull it out. Right, I've got it up now, I'm just going to hitch it on. I had to stop then because the police just phoned me up. Anyway, they're hot on the case. Right, okay, so anyway, I've reported to the police now. What good that would do? Right, I've fixed on. Do you reckon this is coming out? Sticky out the stingers. Look at that, bad boy, go. Look at that, hey! That needed moving anyway, didn't it really? How old is that roll? That's a ring roller. I've used that in the past, but crikey, how long has that been on the farm? I wouldn't be surprised if it's been on the farm for best part of 100 years or something stupid. It's always been here as long as I can ever remember. You know, I don't know whether it was ever used on a horse before it was used on tractors. Anyway, let's get here along the road. I'm going to put it in the gateway. You try and move that unless you've got another tractor, you're going to struggle. And then I'll be back for the flat roll. So you said it won't do any harm. Just make sure I don't take out a gate post. It won't do any harm to me to move this thing anyway. It probably needed a bit of freeing up. You know what it's like, if you leave machinery stuck, it ends up rusting out. Right, let's crack on. I'll have a look at the gate when we get there. There's the cows. So we're rapidly approaching the scene of the crime, as they say. The scene of the crime. A rural crime. This is classed as a rural crime. Realistically, the resolution on this is close to 0, I think. And this is why, as farmers, we have to take it into our own hands to stop people coming on our property. Because I don't blame the police for this, it's nigh on impossible to track these people down. They're just moving around all the time. The lady I spoke to on the phone just now just said, crikey, you've had a lot of reports in, haven't you? And I said, yeah, I just want to keep it reporting in. But the interesting thing is the number of people, the amount of times that I've been visited by these poachers has definitely escalated in the last 4 or 5 years. And I reckon a lot of that's due to the availability of four-wheel drive vehicles. Because 20 years ago there weren't that many four-wheel drive trucks around. Mostly it was Land Rovers, which only farmers had. Nowadays everyone and a certain element of society is very keen on these four-wheel drives. I think you know who I mean. And they are the means of getting around a farm very quickly. I can't stop them coming on foot, they can nip over a fence, but the difference is four-wheel drive, they can drive through this gateway and they're you know, they're out in the fields and all round very quickly, and they can do a lot of damage and visit very rapidly. Right, I'm just reversing this up now. There we go. We'll have a look at the gate in a minute. Lovely wooden gate. Right, try and do this. Bear with me. Bear with me, people. Right. Let's put it at an angle because then it won't roll away. Okay, let's get out and have a look. And you can see what sort of damage I'm dealing with. Right. As you know, I don't film everything I do on this farm because I just haven't got the time. You know, I can't make this into a documentary. It's just me every now and then. And I didn't film us fitting this new gate because it was just too much hassle. And you know what? I just want to get on with the job. But I fitted this lovely wooden gate only about 2 months ago, maybe less than that. And look what they've done. So it was tied there, I've tied it back temporarily. They've cut the rope and then someone has rammed it. They've rammed it from the front with a truck, broken the rails, knackered this, look at that. Oh, brilliant. See? Not really doing much now, is it? Brand new gate, 200 quid gate. Look, where they popped it, it's bent in the middle, snapped that rail, that rail, that rail, that rail, and then these have popped out. They popped out of the joints, look. And they've also broken that piece there. So it was only because, yeah. So they buckled it as they went through. I mean, they could have, do you know what? They could have just opened the gate. They didn't have to ram it. Someone had to. This is the interesting thing how they think. They just do not care. So what they did, they had to get out to cut the rope. Once they cut the rope, they didn't think, oh, I'll just open the gate, because it wasn't hard. You just had to open it. Instead of doing that, they rammed the gate with a vehicle. Now, I got to blame myself. As you know, I put those bales up over there yesterday. But I didn't bother with these gates, and part of the reason I didn't bother is they'd never come in this way before, and it's quite a sweep round to get in with a truck. I know when I come in with a tractor, it's quite a hard turn, and I kind of thought maybe I'll get away without worrying about it. Maybe they'll just move on because they've seen those bits. How wrong I was, you know. You can't get everything right on this job, can you? You know, I just try my best. You know, it's like you don't see my brother on the farm, but on the videos, because you know he doesn't like the videos. But he has to. We work together. We get on all right, and we deal with this stuff ourselves. And for both of us, I can honestly say, quite a stressful situation. Got the pin out now. I'm going to leave this. You know, dealing with this, I had to ring him up. I rang him up at 6:15. I phoned him this morning to say, Tom, you're going to have to come back. You have to get out of bed, basically, because I was worried. This gate was wide open. I was worried that they were going to actually, well, the cattle might have been out, because I couldn't see where the cattle were. Turned out what had happened is where the special lovely people that I know who they are, they'd driven down through there, where the electric fence is, they'd driven through the electric fence, gone down to the lower fields. And this morning, 7:30, I basically went through the farm, shutting all the gates behind them. I could see their route, because in this time of year, the tyre prints show up. And then they come back this way and gone out and left the gate open. So in some ways I was lucky, because the fact they flattened the electric fence to get into the lower fields meant the cows just thought, oh, nice bit of new grass, and so they hadn't bothered with the gate. Obviously, the interesting thing is, you know, on this farm you get to know how things work, and normally when I'm coming to get the cows in about 6:15, there's a few starting to walk back towards the parlour, because they sort of know it's milking time. And I did think when I was driving along, I thought, this is very strange, there's no cows coming back. And what it was is the cows didn't want to come back because they would just got on the fresh grazing. I think they must have come early hours of the morning, because there wasn't a lot of damage with the cows. Anyway, right, just gonna just get back, get the other roller. Right, I'll see you in a minute. Alright, get the other roller now. Next roller. Let's go. What a world we live in, eh? Sad, isn't it? Generally speaking, most people are really nice, decent people, and then there's just the scumbags. And to be fair to the police, you've got to admire them. Hats off to anyone who volunteers to be a policeman or policewoman, because you basically put yourself in a world where you meet scumbags all the time. You know, my life's pretty good, really. I can't complain. You know, I'm very, very lucky. I've got a lovely family. I enjoy what I do. I know a lot of people, but I know a lot of nice people. And that's what is important to me, in the fact that over a lifetime you build up a kind of collection of people around you, don't you? And you can kind of choose where you want to go with that. You know, you can either decide to walk down the line where you're a little bit woo and a little bit, you know, and you're meeting people with issues and aggro and stuff like that. And I'm very lucky. I've met some really lovely people through my life, and I've got a very good bunch of friends around me. And it's really important to remember that when you get days like this, where I deal with scumbags coming on my farm, it's important that I remember the good people around me, and also kind of like you guys who watch what I do. You know, you're very supportive to me, you help me out, you send me things occasionally, you know, and you send me emails and messages and texts saying, you know, this is a number. Someone sent me a text just now for the rural crime officer. I don't know who they are, but they sent me the message to ring. I am very lucky. And I think from the police point of view, crikey, you put yourself in a world where you meet people all the time that aren't pleasant, aren't nice. So I'm dealing with one small issue, but imagine if you had to deal with this day in, day out. It would get, well, it would do my head in, I think. You know? Surround yourself with good people. That's the most important thing in your world, I think. That's good advice for anyone, and my kids especially. Surround yourself with good people and it'll reflect back on you. I hope. Right. I've got to get on. I'm just going to chuck this big flatty roller out. My flat roller. I'm going to have to do a video one day of squashing stuff with the flat roof roller. I did a video a long time ago squashing stuff with a tractor, but squashing stuff with a flat roller even more. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? As long as it's not me. Right, I'm gonna dump this and then I gotta get back to work. Oh, what a day. Second gate. Blocker 2. There we go. Never mind Terminator 2, this is gate blocker 2. Right, that's it, I'm out of here. Alright. See you good people another day. Plenty to do for me today. Crack on. Crack on. Stay well.